great win tonight against Western Michigan. Mike, I got to tell you, man, it feels good to not have to sweat through the game and things going bad. There were other teams today, man. They were sweating. They were having a hard time. Bama's still sweating a little bit with what's going on
Yeah,
with them.
I
But
think they just got a little cushion. Yeah,
did they?
just got
Okay.
it.
I didn't see that there, but I'm watching this Oregon game right now, and it's 7-3 in the second quarter. I'm like, man, it's nice to just take care of business. So I know I'm doing well. You doing well tonight, man?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Good Buckeye football, man. And also got to start the day off amazing. Big noon kickoff was amazing. Got to watch that team up north, Sandcastle, just get withered away by the tide. So that was amazing.
It was truly amazing to watch. Just a great time overall today, and Notre Dame getting upset in the afternoon hour as well. So Marshall last year, this year Northern Illinois. We're going to be going through it all. If you all want us to talk about that kind of stuff, we'll get into that as well. But we're going to start with the Buckeye game. Obviously, we got a list of topics and things like that from the game we're going to go through. However, if you have anything you want us to talk about, please do put that in the chat. We will also do our best to bring up anything and everything that was going on in the game to talk about. But be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Voice of College Football so you get all the post-game shows, the show in the middle of the week, generally on Tuesday or on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. with Mark Rogers, Tony Gerdeman, and Steve Hellwagon. And then you'll also get videos from me throughout the week as well. It's a great time. And I see David is in the chat saying our defense. So I think that's the best place to start, Mike. I think we start with the defense. And I think, listen, Cody Simon, first game back. He's back this season, and he had a sack. It was wonderful to see. What were your thoughts on Cody Simon coming back?
Man, it was just good to see the leader of the defense coming back, man. And he set the tone early, and that's what you want to see a leader do. So the defense came out firing. I know Jack Sawyer and his defense has talked about we haven't had a shutout in a long time. We want to get a shutout, especially against opponents like this. They went ahead and did it. Western Michigan, they went ahead, tried to get a field goal, didn't do it, went and blinked off the goalpost. So I'm feeling good about what Cody Simon and what he's led this defense, man, with the block out.
100%. I saw that Blocko out there. I knew Cody Simon was back. I was just ecstatic to see him out there. One player I've been ecstatic to see out there is number 20, Arvell Reese, and what he's been able to do. His play time was cut a little bit short with Cody Simon making his return. However, he was still out there running around, making plays, going crazy. I can't believe it because I didn't think I'd be saying this 2 games in, but the linebacker room might be one of the deepest rooms on this team with what we've been seeing. I know every other room is crazy deep as well, but I mean, you got Cody Simon, Arvell Reese, CJ Hicks, Sonny Styles, and the list goes on and on and on. Gabe Powers had himself a touchdown last week. So, I mean, the linebacker depth is crazy here. What's your thoughts on that, Mike?
Man, this is what we've been asking for. We've seen the other top programs, rotate and show their depth, and we believe that Ohio State had this and had it in them. We just needed to see it, and I just think you continue to see Arvell Reese stacking gains, right? And those reps is going to come up big when we need that guy later down the road, man, because this is a long season. Love what I'm seeing.
Me too, man. Me too. I I don't know if I can say like I want to see Arvell Reese play more, but I definitely like when it gets to some of these bigger games, right? Iowa's probably gonna be our first big game. Of course, they had a losing effort today, so it's not probably gonna be a ranked game with the way their schedule is working out. However, that is still a team we know they have a very strong defense. The offense looks at least a little bit improved, maybe not as much today with Cade McNamara throwing 2 picks, but still, I mean that is a team that's in the top half of the Big Ten, so it's gonna be really interesting to see them play. I'm torn on these linebackers, right? I want to see Cody Simon. I want to see Sonny Styles. But then, same thing, like I said, Arvell Reese is killing it. CJ Hicks is such a dangerous weapon rushing the quarterback. But at this point, like, I don't know if I can justify CJ Hicks getting more time than Arvell Reese. Obviously, we're nitpicking here because both guys do things really, really well. But if you're talking about Arvell Reese climbing the depth chart, I know that Will and Mike linebacker are two different things, but I almost think that Arvell Reese is probably the third linebacker in this room to get snaps now. What do you think?
He might be, man. I like it. And here's the thing. This is what James Laurinaitis said. he said that what I'm going to do is go ahead and whoever's having a better week, that's going the guy who's going to play, right? And if that's the guy, if Arvell Reese is doing that, I'm happy with it. I'm not going to complain at all about it. So I love to see it. I want to see, more of the young guys. But I mean, we could still, like I said, you just keep rotating them. And especially if there's no drop off, there's no reason to just not continue with the rotation. Kind of like how we did with our championship year when we was rotating Curtis Grant and Raekwon McMillan out, man. You can do that with these guys. And right now, I think that these are the type of games that you want to see, the depth of these linebackers, because you see what this seems like the coaching staff is doing. Going ahead, getting Arvell Reese ready for Big Ten play, because that's going to be different. That's going to weigh on these guys' bodies. So I like what's going on. And hey, however Laurinaitis says the linebacker depth is, I'm going to trust him because we got the guys.
Yeah, if there's anybody that knows the linebackers, it's James Laurinaitis. I think that he's been huge for this room. I think one of the issues last year with not seeing as much rotation was because Jim Knowles, right? I mean, he's calling plays. He's up there in the box. He's not down there with the guys as much. And so for him, it's probably just like default more times than not. And so you got James Laurinaitis out there, and he's not trying to call plays. He's not, involved in all that other stuff. He's just out there trying to put his guys in a position to succeed. And I think it's paying off. I think it's paying dividends. And there's other things we could say about the special teams with Parker Fleming being gone, but James Laurinaitis being out there instead of Parker Fleming, it's wonderful, wonderful to see. Hey, you brought up the national championship team from last time. One of the similarities I see from this team, from that team, is the defensive line. Mike, this defensive line, I'm going to say it, best defensive line in the country, and I'm not afraid to say it at all. I mean, Tyleik Williams is fantastic. Kaden McDonald getting in there, he's just a dog, man. He is just destroying people in the middle of that offensive line. Jack, Edric Houston got a sack late in the game. JT's looking fantastic. I mean, there's not enough good things you can say about this defensive line right now.
Yeah, honestly, there's not. And one guy who I was high on coming in the preseason, actually, when he was coming in to the class, was Caden McDonald. Man, I was really excited about this guy, and the fact that we got to see him early on in the game was amazing. You just continue to see young guys making plays soon as they go in, and this is what I'm saying: when you're able to rotate and keep these guys fresh, like Larry Johnson used to do. I know how many, like he said, he knows how many snaps these guys can have. He wants them playing at 100%. And what are we seeing when them guys go out there? They're able to play at 100% and continue to make plays, man.
100%, dude. I mean, this defensive line, if anybody is benefiting from staying fresh, it's these defensive linemen. I seen Kenyatta Jackson out there. He's getting time. Caden Curry's getting time as well in defensive end spots. I mean, it's just fantastic to see, and I can't say enough good things about Larry this season and what he's doing. We give James his props. We got to give Larry his props. Larry is somebody last year, he didn't want to rotate as much. He wanted to stick with his starters, his guys. This year, I don't know what got into him. I don't know if him and Jim Knowles had a heart-to-heart. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, Larry Johnson this season, at least 2 games in, we'll see what happens when we start facing Iowa and Oregon, teams like that, but at least 2 games in, I don't have enough good things to say about Larry Johnson and the rotations that he's putting out there.
Yeah, you got to respect Larry Johnson. And to be honest, I think last year, Larry, here's my thing. Larry always is wanting to rotate. He's been a rotation guy since he has gotten to Ohio State. That's all we've seen. Even when we have asked for packages, we know Larry Johnson knows how to come up with packages. We got the Rushman package, right? So I think last year was more of an overcorrection on Jim Knowles and Ryan Day with not using rotation on the defensive line. Whereas now you're seeing them allowing Larry to be Larry and do the things that he's good at. And we're seeing the benefits from it. And like I have always said, game reps is always going to be better and beneficial for these guys than practice reps.
100%, 100%. I think that there's less pressing this year. Again, I know it's 2 games in, and I know these are two MAC opponents, but still, I feel like there's less pressing this year. Even on the defense last year, it felt like they never felt like they could go out there and try to do something amazing and give up a big play
Hmm.
because they didn't trust their offense. And specifically, I mean, I don't want to keep bringing him up because he had a fantastic day today for Syracuse, but specifically, I don't know if they trusted the quarterback. It didn't seem like Ryan Day did, but this year, I mean, Will Howard, man. It looks like everybody trusts him. It looks like everybody trusts this offense. Chip Kelly. We'll get to the offense here in a minute, but I do want to touch on the secondary. Now, before we start giving guys their flowers, let's go ahead and rip apart the refs for a minute because Denzel Burke got
Bruh.
ejected. Mike, I like literally put my hands over my face and I was like, what in the world? How are you calling this? How are you calling this a targeting call right now and ejecting Denzel Burke? Obviously, it didn't matter. You know, we got Jermaine Matthews, we got Lorenzo Styles, we got Jordan Hancock, we got all these guys in the secondary to play corner. We're good, but still, like for Denzel Burke, a leader on this team, it was very frustrating to see.
Yeah, it was frustrating to see. And me being a defensive guy, it's like what can you do, especially when the ball carrier is the one who's putting his head down as well. You're already in form. Uh I mean, I think that this is gonna be a long season with Big Ten refs. I could tell that by week one, even when they were going to replay booth, the Penn State game where the guy got the first down and they didn't, or what was it? I think they stopped the person on the first down and they still gave it to him or something like that. Then Ohio State last week with the Emeka Egbuka call. I mean, we have seen what these Big Ten refs are doing. So, like I always say, never leave doubt, never leave anything in the hands of the refs, man. Good thing that this happened early. Clean that up a little bit, get your head up just a tad bit, make it be face mask. I'm not going to complain at it. I'm not going to fault Denzel Burke on it, man. It was a good defensive play. These refs, they just don't know ball, man. They just
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
ball.
I don't fault Denzel. I mean, like I think I said, he kind of got pushed in the back a little bit into the guys. So, and man, we got to start holding these running backs accountable too, because these running backs are just putting their head down and just going like a battering ram. Like, what's the defender supposed to do? Like, you're just supposed to let the even that hit that the one guy had on Jordan Hancock. Like, man, he got hit so far back, and he had his head up a little bit, but still, the running back was just using it as a battering ram. So
Yeah.
no targeting call on that one, but still, like we got to start holding these running backs accountable too, so that way they're not like they're not targeting the defenders. Now, I'm not advocating for more targeting calls. Please don't hear me saying that, but I am saying like sometimes it's not always the defender's fault, and some of these guys really just are trying to get the tackles. So, hey,
Yeah.
let's give some flowers in the secondary, Mike. Who was somebody you were really impressed with tonight in the secondary? I got one, but I want to hear yours first.
Oh, I mean, honestly, Jermaine Matthews. I mean, to be honest, Denzel Burke had to come out. It was a pretty quiet day, I think, until the end of the game when I believe he got an interception, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Hmm.
I mean, it was a beautiful day. I love to see it. Uh, I'm very, very impressed with Jermaine Matthews because every time he goes out there, he's making plays, man. This guy, it just like you were saying earlier about, wanting to see Arvell Reese and these young guys. It is so hard for me to not think about 2025 sometimes. I start thinking about, 2025, all the SFE wide receivers, whoever the quarterback is, like I just think it's going to be a beautiful masterpiece. So this is what you do, as our counterparts up north, the team up north, they're saying, oh, they're satisfied, they're happy with what they got. They are relieved. But here at Ohio State, we don't believe in that. You go out there, you play your hardest, and then every year you reload. No matter if you win, no matter if you lose, you reload.
Yeah, reload the clip, right? You get those guys coming back as well. I went back on a Jack Sawyer tweet the other day and saw that tweet where he was coming back, and it was just like all the feelings of everything after that season and the confidence and knowing we had all these guys coming back. They came back to me. Brian brought up one of the guys I did want to bring up in the secondary, Igbinosun. Igbinosun, he had a little bit of a weird start there at the beginning. He had
Mhm.
the pass interference call on him, and I think some people were probably a little frustrated with how handsy he got, but he did end up with a good day. I felt like they were kind of trying to go after him a little bit, and he shut that down right away. He was like, "Nope, Western Michigan, you're not going to come after me. Might have Denzel Burke on the other side, but you still got Davison Igbinosun over here. You can't come at me." But the guy in the secondary I really wanted to give flowers to tonight is Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs played a heck of a game. He was flying all around, man. The
Mhm.
broadcasters were talking about it. Like when he decides he's going to do something, he has the confidence to just go and do it. And that's a huge thing for these guys who play safety is like you have to have the confidence to commit to doing it. And then also you have to have the wherewithal to just hit somebody, right? I mean, you can't have no fear. You can't have anything like that going through your mind. You just got to go in there and hit the guy. And that's what Caleb Downs was doing. I was a little critical of him in a video earlier this week where I said he had 3 missed tackles, and I wasn't trying to say like he didn't have a good game against Akron. I was just saying like I want to see those cleaned up. I want to see Caleb
Right.
Downs, All American, come in and clean those up. Boy, did he! He was electric out there. He was flying all over the place. I can't say enough good things about Caleb Downs.
Yes, sir. Caleb Downs, man. That's what he came here for. And to be honest, and we finished really close second, to Bama. And when he got here, he said it, all the guys made him feel right at home. So
Yep, you love to see it. You love to see it. All right, Mike. I think we got one more thing on
mhm.
defense. 4 sacks this game. Ty Hamilton and Tyleek Williams combined for a sack. Cody Simon, Jack Sawyer, and then the sack late in the game. Edric Houston, he got one as well. ESPN doesn't show it, but I saw it with my own 2 eyes, so I trust what I
Right.
say.
There
What
you
we what
go.
what was your thoughts on the pressure on the QB tonight? I mean, we didn't hurt the QB, which that's probably good. You know, we don't want to be hurting these Mac players, but
Right.
definitely he had a lot of pressure on him. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we want. And getting home. We always heard, like what 2021, 2022. Oh, we're getting pressures, but we weren't getting home. That was like the biggest thing. And now just watching these guys continue to get home, that's exactly what you want to see. It puts the offense in a very bad spot and it takes away their momentum and it allows you to build on your momentum. And then also, like I have always said, it is going to be hard for offensive linemen to go in the game and not get comfortable against the person they are playing because of all of the rotation. Everybody got a different style. How am I going to play to this style? Oh, that style doesn't work well for me. This style doesn't work well for me. Hey, coach, I was never able to get comfortable because of how I was playing like 3 different guys. So I love to see it, man. This is what you want to see, man. It just gets me so pumped for like the regular season,
Yeah, man, and I lied. One last thing on the defense, and it also
man.
it kind of stems off what you were talking about, the style of play and everybody being fine with it. And we were helped out by a missed field goal, but shutout tonight. No points scored by Western Michigan. Obviously, the field or the kicker doinks the field goal off the post. That helps secure that to actually happen early in the game, and the defense played lights out even with the backups in. So you love to see that. I mean, Mike, is this our only shutout of the season? Are you seeing at least maybe one, two, three more shutouts? What are you thinking?
I mean, I think our next game against Marshall, we could have a shutout. I mean, I'm not seeing really much from their offense. Their starting quarterback only has 141 yards on the season right now. I mean, it looks like they're going to probably be relying on the run game a lot more, but I mean, I honestly think that going up against Marshall for our third game of the season, that's the only one. We go in the Big Ten play. A lot of these other teams, for what people want to push this propaganda, Big Ten don't have offenses. I think you can see, Aiden Childs, yeah, he struggles, but I think that Michigan State could possibly, get a touchdown. Same thing with Iowa. Iowa looks like, they're making plays on offense, and we know how that defense is. Say they get a, turnover short side of the field or something like that. So, I mean, just looking at this, and Dylan Raiola, this man's been cooking past 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'm really not seeing it. Maybe Indiana, uh, maybe Purdue, but those are the only ones.
You left out the big one there, Mike. The one at the end of the season. Can you imagine we shut out that team up north, man?
Man,
I would never shut up on Twitter. If that happened,
bruh.
I would
Yeah.
I would never be quiet.
Look, I know some of them has already deleted. I had this folder from all of them and their little Texas takes, because I had my take on
Right.
them going into the season. And what I found was there were a lot of things. This tweet is no longer available because the account no longer exists. There was a lot of those.
Wow.
So I mean, it's not standing in the paint is crazy. I'm just glad that, JR guys like us, we stood in the paint.
We're here, man. We're here. And if the Buckeyes do lose this season, let's hope not. But if it does, we'll be here. We'll be talking about it. It's going to happen with us being here after every single game, no matter what happens. So you can count on that.